Alrighty, I'm Rob Stockley. I'd like to welcome you all to Rotary Matters at Arrow FM 92.7 FM. With me in the studio today, I've got a real cracking show for you today. With me in the studio, we've got Simone Grayson from Kapai Carterton, and we've got Andy Eldred and his son Julian Eldred, who have been involved with Talent Wairarapa as a father and performer. And later in the show, we'll be joined by Meg Hunter, who also performed in Talent Wairarapa. So Julian and Meg won, respectively, the over 14 and the 14 and under in Talent Wairarapa for 2019. Before we go on, I've got a few notices from the Rotary Club of Carterton. The first one, the big one that we've got coming up, is our Rotary Quiz Night. So World Polio Day is October 24th, and Rotary clubs throughout the country are doing all sorts of things to raise money to eradicate polio from the world. The Rotary Club of Carterton, one of the things we're doing is holding a quiz night. It's out at the Gladstone Complex on the 11th of October, so it's pretty close, but there are still tables available. We've got Chris Cogdale is the quizmaster. He does all of the local quizzes. He's lots of fun. I was out at the Gladstone Complex just recently for their fundraiser, which he ran, and we had heaps of fun. So anyway, the tables of 10 cost $100, so it's $10 a head. And there are still tables available, but get in quick. Call Alan on 06 379 9360. I'll mention that later in the show as well, just in case you missed that. A couple of other things that have been happening in Rotary Club of Carterton recently. We've got the Carterton Baptist Church have got their village project. A couple of our members have been helping out there with plumbing and electrical work and project managing some of the works that are there. It's a really, really cool project. It fits really well with our youth at risk focus at the moment. Basically, they're building 5 little cabins which will be occupied by 5 youth who are refinding their feet, refining their focus, and being supported by Wayne and Jennifer from the church, and helped back onto the straight and narrow. So a fantastic project. We've got Chris and Warwick of the Dugdale Trust are helping out immensely. They've done some awesome fundraising to help pay for some of the cabins, but they're still looking for more money. And if you look on Give a Little, you'll find it's there under the village, Carterton Baptist Church, and I think of the 5 cabins, I think 4 of them have been funded. We're just looking for a little bit more to complete the 5th one. The other exciting news that we've got from Carterton, it reaches back to back in July. We invited Carla McNeil to our event centre, and she ran a big workshop for local teachers and schools related to dyslexia. And the workshop was fantastic. It was all about just subtle things that you could do in the classroom to make the teaching more beneficial to children with dyslexia without disadvantaging any of the other kids. The basic premise was that if it's good for someone with a learning disability, then it's good for everyone. Now, the exciting news is that 4 of the schools that came and had teachers at our combined workshop thought so much of Carla that they've actually invited her back, and they're putting all of their staff through a similar workshop these school holidays. So that just goes to show how well that went down, and we're just so pleased to see that project has gained some legs and kept going. We've got the Christmas parade is in planning at the moment. Lots of businesses have been sent out the flyers and the information about creating your Christmas floats. We had A fantastic parade last year with lots of entries, so we anticipate similar this year. One of the bits of news that perhaps isn't out there yet is we're going to be joined by the Air Force Band. They're a fabulous crowd, and they will be leading us through the parade this year. And following that, they're actually will run the parade in the opposite direction this year, finishing in Carrington Park. And the Air Force Band are actually going to give a concert from the rotunda, which is pretty cool for us because Rotary had some involvement in the rotunda or in its refurbishment a few decades ago. So it's all kind of cool that it all comes back together around the Christmas parade. So those are the sort of things that are happening in Carterton at the moment, and happy that things are going so well. At this point, I'd like to bring in some of our guests. I've got Simone Grayson with us today, and she's part of a group called Kāpai Carterton, who've based themselves out of 3 Mile in Carterton, and they've been doing some pretty cool stuff in the community just recently. One of the things that service clubs like Rotary has as a problem, as an issue, is trying to find things or causes or opportunities. What does the community need? And to our benefit, the likes of Simone and her crowd at Kāpai Carterton, they're actually going out to the community and finding out what the community needs. So there's some real synergies there. We look forward to working with Simone. So welcome, Simone. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, no, well, it's like I say, there's it's kind of a bit of yin and yang going on there between Rotary and what Kāpai Carterton is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Kāpai Carterton. It's really exciting to find out who is in Carterton and in the entire district and what skills and knowledge we all have, and then discovering the types of things that people would like, whether it be retail shops or community events, all the different things. So it's been quite fun gathering all the knowledge and all the learning from around the place, and I'm getting excited about all the ideas that are coming up.
Yeah, some of those ideas we saw we were there. Rotary had our candy floss machine at your creative forest the last day of it. And it was great seeing how many young people were taking part. It was awesome.
Oh, it was fantastic. At that event, we ran it for 3 days, and we actually held 4 separate events through the course of the 3 days. We'd already spoken to the schools in Carterton, so over 650 kids. And then we decided we'd do something big and exciting. So having the Girl Guides there, working with Rotary on the candy floss, and doing a bake sale with Gladstone School, and we had Earth Schools. They came in and did some products and some selling, and we ran the barbecue and just stepped people through our creative forest.
So tell us about some of the ideas that came out of the creative forest. What sort of things were the young people especially excited about?
Okay.
What does our youth need?
Okay, well, the youth, quite a range of different things, but something that comes across for youth and also just regular people is more events, more stuff to do. So activities for youth, they really enjoy the skate park. That's their place to gather. But, getting across to the new world, so crossing that State Highway 2, they said, hey, can we have a pedestrian crossing, just as a matter of safety. And also Wi-Fi in the park, which is, a little bit perhaps non-essential, but we thought, well, parents want to find out where their kids are. So, those sorts of things.
Well, Spark put up those free Wi-Fi hotspots all over the place,
Yeah,
It may not even have to cost the ratepayer anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Yeah.
And a pedestrian crossing, that just makes sense, doesn't it?
It does make sense, I know, because they're going to run across that road anyway, so let's help them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, so there's, I think, so many different ideas. They loved Colour Run, so they like more things like that. They loved the Mud Run as well. And they really want to utilise the park and have their own space where they can hang out and play. So we're looking at things that are available. that would be specifically targeted for the older teens, and it would be in the park, and it would be technology as well. But, you know, to make it exciting for them so that they can keep hanging out, but they can have more stuff to do.
Yeah, like a youth hub would be really cool, wouldn't it? You know, bring together all of the opportunities and services that appeal to youth, and then you can bring in some of the agencies that even, you know, that can provide help and assistance,
Absolutely.
make them more accessible.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken to Safer Communities, you know, Wairarapa, Safer Communities, and they would love a youth space. Something, I know, you know, we do have a space in the library, but the kids want to play their music, and they want it a little bit louder, and you know, they want to kind of own the space, which is, you know, well, for them, it'd be great to get a focus group happening and find out what they actually want and how they want to design it, you know, and even cafes run by youth. That's another one that's been talked about, and indoor activities. So, you know, we've trampoline parks, those sorts of things.
So what happens next? I mean, I guess, you know, you talk there about coming together, you know, with a focus group. You know, where can organisations like Rotary and Lions and other volunteer groups come in and help?
Well, with the with Ka Pai Karsten, our focus obviously is having community do the work, and we will support them through funding. So to involve the likes of Rotary and Lions and every community group we can possibly, you know, gather where we're all contributing would be fantastic. So we are in partnership with Internal Affairs, and you know, they've recognised that communities work. Well, they're more sustainable. The people, you know, in the community work well together if they lead the charge. So if we gathered up all sorts of different groups, if we wanted, you know, I know Lions are doing the bike park, and you know, other areas that we would love to see develop. You know, Mount Dick around the bike park. We've got this crazy idea about putting a water slide down Mount Dick and turning it into a real tourist spot. And in summer it's a water slide, and in winter it can be a luge, you know. Things like that would be about the environment. It'd be kind of cool. There's one in Wainui, and it's 70 metres, and it runs down through the bush, so it's absolutely beautiful, and we thought, let's do stuff like that, you know.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so there's lots of fun projects that we would love to get people involved in, and you know, coming to talk to us, and also finding out what people are already doing so we can contribute that way. There's lots of opportunities.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll look forward to we'll have to get you back to one of our meetings. You can inspire the members, and we'll jump on it. I mean, I know my kids would absolutely love that water slide idea.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure about the luge. I think I'd be, as a parent, I might be a bit worried about that one, but water slide for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we thought, you know, it just grows. It gets bigger and bigger every time we talk about it, you know, getting the bikes up there, and having somewhere to get the bikes down, having it accessible for people who, you know, wheelchairs, those sorts of things, so they can still make use of it. So it's all inclusive, and it's you know, outdoors. It's a tourism thing. It's a nature thing. There's lots of ticks. So.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really cool. I look forward to hearing more and seeing how that progresses.
Absolutely.
We'll maybe get you back on the show in a year's time. We'll talk about all the exciting happenings up at Mount Dick.
Yep, that sounds great.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much, Simone. From here, I'd like to move on to our next guest. We'll come back to Simone in a little while, but I have with me in the studio Andy Eldred and his son Julian Eldred. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Now, Julian was one of the competitors in Talent Wairarapa, which Rotary hosted back in June or July of this year. Goodness, it's been a while now. Earlier this year, and Julian actually won the senior part of the competition. You know, so welcome back, Julian. Congratulations. That was awesome.
Thank you. It was a great time. So yeah.
Yeah. Now the show the piece that you played. I mean, when I heard it, I was like, he's doing a cover. It's a cover of. It sounded like Eminem, and it was like I was convinced it was a cover, and then it was a bit later on someone was doing, no, he wrote that. That was awesome. You had some real skills there, brother. Do you want to tell us a bit about sort of how you came up with that piece?
Well, the song that I played in the finale was actually basically it's a classical piece that my brother and I really like, and basically my little brother took it and converted it from a 3/4 time signature to a 4/4 time signature, which was sort of like counteractive, and it was really confusing at first because like you're so used to hearing it in a certain way, and then it kind of just takes you out of that mode, and like then I kind of like ran with that, and like yeah, it kind of just resulted in what it was. And
it was neat. It was like different from, and I don't know my classical music, but you know, going from 3/4 to 4/4, I do understand, and I didn't pick that up. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
who came up with that idea?
My little brother. He's 13. He's pretty onto it.
Shout out to Leon.
Yeah, shout out to Leon.
Wow. So we'll be seeing Leon at Talent Wairarapa in a few years' time.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Oh, excellent. So, but it obviously runs in the family here. I know you, your dad Andy's dab hand on a guitar, isn't it? And a sing.
Yeah. I've got a little band. Been doing it a while.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
So it all runs in the family.
Yeah.
So how did you find the Talent Wairarapa competition itself?
Well, I think the first I heard of it was Mom was talking about it and saying that I should really do it, and then Dad was talking about it saying I should really do it, and I was like unsure because it was coming up really soon, and so I signed up, but there was this whole confusion where like I put through the payment, but there was like, you know, something that happened, and then I thought that I honestly wasn't going to do it, but then it was all sorted out like at the last minute, so it was like just this whole thing, but I was really glad that I ended up being able to do it.
Oh, weren't we all? It was fantastic.
Thank you.
What about so the show itself, did you meet or hang out with many of the other competitors, or was it kind of float in, float out?
Yeah, I talked to a couple of people. It was really cool to see like a lot of people who were there that were passionate about what they were doing, especially youth. There was a lot of young people doing it, which I thought was really cool, and
a lot of young musicians and singers.
Yeah.
Vocals and playing an instrument was pretty popular.
Yeah.
How about so since the competition, has anything changed? I mean,
a bit. I've gotten a couple of gigs. I played at the Daffodil Festival.
I saw you there. That was great.
Yeah, and I played at a friend's mom's birthday party the other weekend.
Excellent.
So, yeah, wasn't too bad.
Yeah, the Daffodil Day one was cool. It was a shame it was a bit cold.
Yeah. But I'm sure, you know, people heard it around town and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And there was in fact, Andy, you had a band playing before. Before Julian came on as well. They seemed pretty keen. What's the story there?
Oh, that's sort of a combined thing. And when I was in Greytown for 8 years, and I worked with the Greytown school doing it, so Julian was actually in one of those bands way back in the day, and it's really interesting now to go to like Talent Wairarapa or Smoke Free Rock Quest or one of these things, and to see these kids who were in these bands. So, you know, when they were so young and they were just learning how to play. And then to see them now with their own bands and, you know, winning the things and just, you know, and, you know, I guess one of the things about Julian is there are a lot of people who can, you know, play music, but a musician makes music, you know, and that's the thing. It just comes out of him, you know. And he, you know, I hopefully have been an influence in some way. I'm sure I have, but his style, his ear, the way that he creates things and hears the way music is so different. Because I'm just a redneck, you know. I'm out there. I beat it. Give me 4/4. Give me something blues based. I can get my head around it, but I'll be trying to play bass with him, and he'll be, no, do this, and it's so different, but it sounds so cool, and it all comes together. But that's just the way his brain is working. It's pretty phenomenal, really. The places where.
No, I love it. I love it. It's edgy. It's like it's not like everything else you hear. So I was pretty pleased with that. Now you brought some gear into the studio with you, and you're going to play something for us. Yeah. You want to talk about the piece you're going to play first, or?
Well, this is a song that I started writing last year, but didn't come fully to like be finished until maybe a few months ago. it started out as a thing that I made on the computer, but I had this chord progression that I had made and then learned how to play on guitar, and I thought that suited it, so I kind of changed it into like an acoustic piece. And yeah, so it's pretty emotional, and yeah, I kind of poured my heart and soul into it, and I hope people like it.
Yeah, I'll look forward to hearing it. Right, shall we crank it up?
Yeah.
So the listeners will have to bear with us a little bit here. This is the very first time I've had someone play live in the studio, so we've spent a little bit of time getting all squared away, and so Julian's just getting set up. He's brought in with him an electric guitar and an amp, and we've set him up in the corner, and you should be able to see him when he starts playing. Yeah, go for it.
Silence fine all the time. You're on my mind. I'm on the run, hiding thoughts I have. The thought I had another chance, another way jumping. Hope I'm there. stuff like I always see my life flash. I had a dream that I crashed and floated. I've never been in my best, I know this. You never seem too impressed, I've noticed. Heart on my sleeve, so my best was pointless. Please tell me why I fall a lot, but seldom high. I fell on my sword again. I can't afford to end. I can't afford my friends in accordance to them. I can't resort to this. I can't resort to that. I couldn't teach you no more.
Wow. Wow, it's just the levels here. Goodness me, that was awesome. I mean, I've never listened to a live song played like that quite so intimately. Yeah, just in the room. That was just powerful. Far out. I don't know what to say. I mean, maybe. I mean, we've got Simone here. I mean, Simone was one of the judges at Talent Wairarapa when you won. I mean, what did you think of that?
Oh, look, hearing that track, you know, it's such talent. I've said this, you know, when we were actually doing the competition, it's just mind blowing. The thought and the reasoning in the words, and then there's some beautiful moments in that song. I just love it. It just reminded me why we chose you, because you're sensational.
I love the expressions on your face. I mean, you were so in the moment. You know, you could tell that this was your thing, and you were just there. It was awesome.
Thank you.
It must make you feel pretty proud as dad.
Oh,
he's following in your footsteps.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you know, he's, you know, definitely gone in different footsteps. You know, but I guess the one thing is, you know, the poetry, and also being quite intimate. Obviously, knowing him his whole life and watching him, and then knowing the struggles. You know, it's hard being a teenager. It's hard going through all the stuff that you have to go through when you're a teenager. And I can remember being a teenager and being a creative person, but, you know, never really always feeling like I was trying to push people or push things, but never quite free like Julian is just. He just goes. He lets himself go into that creative place, and he creates this incredible stuff. Like, so, I just think he's got an amazing career ahead of him.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he moves people, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Talent Wairarapa is just a small step in the larger journey that's your career. It's going to be neat. Yeah, and all on little old Carterton, hey?
Yeah.
Put you on the map, put us on the map, I guess. We'll be looking out in sort of 10 years' time. There'll be a record label, and the little jacket in the back will have Carterton written on it. It'd be cool. You know,
well, you know what's cool is because I'm on the Kapai committee, the one who, you know, we got Simone to come in and you know, do these things. And one of the things is like looking at how do we nurture this stuff. How do we create spaces where real stuff happens? Just about the whole youth center thing, it's like, and I just have to say, because I worked with youth for 18 years in youth ministry, if you have like some youth center, but it's all council stuff, like the moment you started talking about, we can put like a wraparound services, I'm like, no, because that's, you know, if you're going to call it a youth place, you got to give it to young people and let it be what they want it to be, rather, I mean, here's a young person here, because I know like it so easily becomes lame because all the rules you have, you know, and so it's just like, well, I don't want to go there because I'm just like going somewhere where everybody tells me what to do and how to be, and I'm not I don't want to be treated like a baby, you know. And
the week before last, at the council meeting I went along to, and they had, I think they had maybe 8 or 10 kids from South End School, from the Montessori, came down and spent a day with the councillors going through what it is to be a councillor and to run a town. And they were asked by the councillors, so what do you think what do you think the future of Carterton should be? What should Carterton be? And their answer was simple. The high street should be the lounge of Carterton. It should be the place where people want to just come and hang out.
Yeah.
And there's so much truth in it. It's straight from, and these were like 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
They know their stuff, and we just need to listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I'll take that on board. That's cool. So with so obviously we've talked about sort of Julian's side of Talent Wairarapa. Obviously, for you as a judge, Simone, I mean, you took in the whole show and heard from lots of them, and obviously had a different experience. Would you perhaps tell us a little bit about it? What was it like?
Oh, it was great fun. So we went through the auditions and the heats, and then the semis, and then a final night. So there was multiple nights of seeing different talent, and also seeing the progress from the audition to the final. Not everyone made it to the final, but they really stepped up. They gave different performances, so that we encouraged them to play us some of their own music, which obviously Julian had it all over it. It was fantastic, and it was nice to be with a group of judges. So there was actually 4 of us, and we all had different strengths. My background is a talent agent, so actors, singers, dancers, choreographers, and I would go into performing arts schools and see these showcases and pick out the talent.
Wow,
yeah, so it was very much the same, and recognizing the different skills they had. Some were more professional than others. Some knew how to hold the mic, and some were incredibly nervous. But there was a lot of talent, and it was really, really great to see so much coming out of the Wairarapa.
Have you been involved in that sort of thing before, like Talent Wairarapa, or?
Yeah, I've done some of it in Australia. They have the big Westfield shopping malls, and they sometimes have talent competitions. So that would be people from all over the place, and you would.
Come on in, get comfortable. Thanks, Simone.
Great, by the way. Michael here. I just wanted to say that the song was great. Well done, and. We've got these voice-activated cameras, and if I saw you looking up going occasionally, why is it on me and not him? It's because having an amplifier in the room, the sound's coming from all directions. But it looked good. Proud dads watching and stuff like that. Anyway, get in there.
Yeah.
Come on in. So for those that can't see the cameras, we've just been joined by Meg Hunter. And is this Jamie?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And Jamie, yeah. So we'll just take a little bit of time. We'll just rearrange the microphones and bits and pieces. For your guys' benefit, we've just heard Julian play a song that he. In fact, that was the one that you did at the finals.
No, the semi-finals.
It was at the semi-finals
and the auditions.
And the auditions, yeah. So he's just played live for us, which was pretty cool. And we've just been talking to Simone about judging Talent Wairarapa and some of her experiences around that, which is pretty cool. So anyway, welcome guys. I'm glad you could join us. Now, you've got a CD or something? No?
Yes, I do.
I've got a couple of your tracks on my phone. They might be the one that you want to play, or we can do it off the CD as well. But I need to cue that up, so I just want to make sure that it's available.
Yeah, do you want me to grab that?
Yeah, if you would, it'd be fantastic. Yeah, so while Meg goes and grabs that, so Jamie, I understand you're Meg's singing teacher?
Yeah, so I've just recently moved to the Wairarapa, in like January of this year, so it's been really exciting to kind of slowly get into the music scene.
Cool,
yeah.
So you would have been in the wings watching as Meg was playing at Talent Wairarapa?
She was so beautiful, and I mean, I don't know how you judged it or organised it, because the amount of talent was just like astronomical, so it was really, really awesome to see that. And there's a really cool vibe with young people as well, which is really inspiring, to see all the talented youth come through, and I think it's really impacting on New Zealand music, especially here in Aotearoa, having such talent coming through is really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was neat. And I remember on the night, Ryan Coles made a comment. I can't remember if it was the semis or the finals. He made a comment about the depth of in your lyrics. You know, the fact that those sorts of themes and that were coming out of someone so young, and yet the songs were so mature. I mean, it was kind of like a leaping off place where, you know, where's this going to go? You know, it was pretty cool. So congratulations.
Thanks.
I guess we can sort of move into the side of it. So how did you find it? Tell us about your experience of Talent Wairarapa.
It was amazing. So I think I heard about it through you.
Yeah.
And I was a bit nervous, and I just, my mum said, you've got to do it though. And so I went in, I think a week before I chose the song I wanted to do. And so I practiced that, and I came in and the judges asked me to do original music for the next round. And so I had a go at writing a song, and it was Orchard in a Matchbox, which is kind of just about finding your place, I suppose. But it's always up for interpretation, because I like to make my songs kind of cryptic.
I think on the night you said that song you wrote it in 5 days.
Yeah.
It was a real. So you literally took what the judges said, went away, wrote a song, came back, and performed it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool. So where does this come from? I mean, how long have you been, I guess, following this passion? I mean, you've...
Well, I've been singing for kind of all my life, but I didn't get into writing music till Talent Wairarapa, so
Wow.
that was the first song I wrote for the semi-finals.
How many songs have you written since then?
You can't stop.
Ooh, I think I've got 9 songs in total now.
Wow. That is amazing. What's perhaps your favourite song? Which is can you tell us a bit about that?
I think the one I've just finished writing now, so it hasn't been performed yet. It's basically about kind of how I interact with everyone around me, and just how you create your persona and how other people change it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Neat. Oh, we'll look forward to hearing about that. So you've, I understand you have actually been in the studio. You've got some demos.
Yeah.
And we'll be hearing 1 or 2 of those a bit later on. But how was that?
That was amazing. They had a baby grand piano, and it was so interesting how clear it was comparatively to hearing yourself through an amp, or it was just amazing.
Oh, neat. And so after Talent Wairarapa, obviously the things have moved on pretty quick. Your mum and dad would have been pretty proud.
Yeah.
I think your dad was kind of jumping out of his skin in the aisles.
Yeah, even my brother kind of gave me a nudge and said, "Oh, good job." And that's a lot from him. So.
Oh, wow. So where do you see yourself going with this? Is this your career now?
I would love it to be my career, but obviously sometimes it's hard to make it, especially in this business. So, I'm going to keep pursuing it as a passion, but I would love it to become a career.
Oh, excellent. Well, shall we listen to one of your songs? I've got the CD in. I may get it right the first time. This is always a bit of a lucky dip as to whether I get the right buttons at the right time. So we might have a couple of goes at it. But if you'd like to tell us which one you would, or just which track, I'll just pass this across to you.
Yeah, we'll go. Paper Cuts and Outrage is the first track.
The first track. That one should be easy enough to find. So bear with me here. We are. So if I just go that one there and we turn that one on.
About time some part of me reached sublime. I think it is the right place for somebody to tell me it'll be okay. Paper cuts and outrage, falling off the edge of the stage. I drop in to this? Just me staring into the abyss. How did I not see that I wasn't free of paper cuts and outrage? Falling off the edge of the stage, I drop into another phase, drowning in the ice cold rain. I was assigned a false feeling of freedom. I remind myself that I am the reason. Paper cuts and outrage, falling off the edge of the stage, I drop into another phase, drowning in the ice cold rain. Waterfalls and now flood, our vision fades to darkness. Blood stain in my carpet, this has gone too far from what we started. Paper cuts and outrage, falling off the edge of the stage, I drop into another phase, drowning in the ice cold rain. Paper cuts and outrage, falling off the edge of the stage, I drop into another phase, drowning in the ice cold rain.
Wow, that was awesome. I can tell, you can really hear how, like you say, that studio quality, clarity. I was listening earlier to some recordings from the night of Talent Wairarapa, which were good. I mean, they were clear and you could hear what you're singing and stuff, but that's just on another level. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was amazing to work with. Yeah.
And so fast. I mean, how long did it take you to sit down all those tracks?
I think it was an hour. Yeah.
Wow. An hour?
An hour and a half maybe, but yeah, it wasn't long.
Wow. That's just amazing. So the Julian was mentioning that his younger brother is also a bit of a talent, and we might see him at Talent Wairarapa in the future. Is there anyone else lurking in the Hunter family?
No, it's just me. Everyone else is sporty, so yeah.
Oh, very, very cool. Well, what did you make of that there, Simone?
Oh, it was lovely. Again, like Julian, Meg writes her own music, and it's so emotive, and to be so young, both of them so young, and creating this, it's incredible. And one thing we did talk about, well, Lucy and I spoke about with Kapai Carterton is how do we nurture this talent, and how do we brand these guys as Carterton, they are Carterton, and how do we, get them to that national level, that recognition. So, it's all working away, toiling away.
Yeah, I guess part of it is keep on talking about it, keep pushing it, keep recording.
Teach them how to fill out grant applications. Creative communities is...
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
25th of October.
25th of October, so.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's an opportunity to maybe fund a bit more development, a bit more recording.
Absolutely.
So, where to next, Meg? Have you got sights on another rock quest or another?
Well, yeah, rock quest next year. Got to prepare for that. And
so, you came second this year, yeah?
I came second in rock quest, yeah, and then I went to semi-finals and I didn't get in, but I suppose everyone else was quite a lot older than me.
Well. I guess the opportunity's there for next year and the years after.
Yeah, and in NCA next year for school, I'm going to work on recording an album. So. Wow.
Oh, we'll look forward to that. Pretty cool. Right, so what I'd like to do, I've got a little bit of news from South Wairarapa, or the Rotary Club of South Wairarapa, which I need to get across for the listeners out there. South Wairarapa report that they had a wonderful crop of daffodils from Sutherland's farm at Whangai Moana. Thousands and thousands of bunches of daffodils were provided for Cancer Society's Daffodil Day, so they were pretty proud of that. They had, back in July, they had a night out at Kuranui College. Kuranui College excelled at the Shakespeare Festival. They won the award for the most Elizabethan scene for their connection to the audience. They did a 5-minute interpretation of Richard III and a 15-minute performance of The Tempest. It just so happens that Meg, who we've just heard from, was actually at and played piano and sang at that same event. So she's all over the place. Also like to again push the World Polio Day, which is October 24th, and the events all around the country and indeed all around the world to raise funds to eradicate polio from everywhere. Here in Carterton, we've got a number of things, but the one I want to push is the Rotary Quiz Night. It's out at the Gladstone Complex on the 11th of October. Table of 10 for $100, $10 a head. There'll be snacks and that provided. There'll be auctions, raffles. Every dollar raised will go towards the polio project. In fact, I should mention there that every dollar that Rotary raises for the polio project, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation match it dollar for dollar. So everything gets magnified. It's such a good cause. So if you're after a table, and there are still tables available, you need to contact Alan. He can be reached on Carterton, so 06 379 9360, or you can get him on mobile 022 101 5945. So that's contact Alan to book your tables for the Rotary Quiz Night at the Gladstone Complex. And
is it possible to do a shout out for St. Mark's Fair next Saturday?
Yep, so I've just brought your mic back up there.
All right.
Yep.
St. Mark's Fair next Saturday.
Yeah, so this
not this Saturday. But
yeah, so this podcast is this podcast will be live for a little bit, so we need to put a date around that just so that people know. So next Saturday will be, what will that be? Today's
12th.
the 12th, Saturday the 12th,
Yep.
St. Mark's Fair.
October 12th.
October 12th. Yeah, so
Starts at 10 a.m.
excellent.
There's some special live music happening.
Yeah.
Is there really? Well, tell us some more. What's happening there?
Well, my band will be Good as Gold will be playing, or we got to see still if Vic can do it, but we'll be Dave and I will be playing anyway, and might be able to convince Sky to get up. And if you're around, if you wanted to come and slam some out, Dave's keyboard will be set up. You could probably come perform if you can.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
Sounds like St. Mark's will be the place to be on the 12th.
Well, that's what we aim. That's what we're aiming for.
Excellent. In fact, that's not the only sort of musical outlet that's coming up, is it, Simone?
No.
You got something cool coming up for the summer.
Absolutely. Waitangi Day. We're doing a summer edition, so with Rotary and Kapai Carterton, as a thank you to the community for being part of our consultation process. So we're going to have a big fun day in the park, and it will have summer edition of Talent Wairarapa, and then some live music and community stuff.
Is it a competition, Talent Wairarapa, or is
it will be? Yep, it'll be a cut down competition, and it's we're going to try and get more school groups in, more kapahaka, choirs, involve as many people as we can, and we'd love to get some of the performances from The Lion King. I think MIS just did a production.
Yes, they
of
did.
The Lion King, so I thought speak to them, and also Kuranui, maybe they can come and perform as well. So we've got lots of work to do, but yeah, Waitangi Day, which is a Thursday next year. So yep, Carterton.
Richard III's a bit dry, but maybe The Tempest might be quite cool. I went to the theatre up in Auckland. You know, they've got the Shakespeare Theatre that they tear down and they build it back up again. We went up there and saw Richard III. It was actually a lot more fun than you'd imagine. I think having the way it was performed in and amongst the audience makes such a big difference to a performance like that. That was pretty cool. Right, so we've got time to play one more track. So if you'd like to choose one, I'll brave the machine again, and we'll go out on a tune from Meg. Maybe she could introduce it before we play it.
So track 3, Stars Fell From My Eyes.
Okay. While I'm queuing that up, we'll get Meg to talk a little bit about how she came up with Stars Fell From My Eyes.
So Stars Fell From My Eyes was one that I wrote for, originally it was for Talent Wairarapa, originally it was for Smoke Free Rock Quest, round 1, but then I decided to scrap it, change all the lyrics, and then I used it for Smoke Free Rock Quest round 2, and I don't really know what it's about. It's kind of about, I suppose, like floating through life, and how not that much happens, but in a way a lot happens. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, I think I've got the machine onto the right track. Let's see if we can make the right noises.
Stars fell from my eyes, emptied inside, space to burn like a dying star. No going back, suffocate in the pitch black. No question, no answer, just echo to the wind. Share nothing by the passing day. I'm getting bored now. My head spins, this is it. Drifted too far away to the edge of eternity. Lost everything in this mess. Set my life a place to burn up this empty space. But we were washed up on the same shoreline, both been drifting for a while. Take your time, find your feet before I fall off mine. No question, no answer, just echo to the wind. Share nothing but the passing day. I'm getting more natural. My head spins, this is it. Drifted too far away to the edge of eternity. Lost everything in this mess. Set my life a place to burn up this empty space. But you know, everything recedes. We don't get what we need. Still cut by everyone who leaves. Everything rewinds to just thoughts in my mind, and all I see is you and me this time. My head spins, this is it. Drifted too far away to the edge of eternity. Lost everything in this mess. Set my life a place to burn up this empty space. Space.
Wow. Okay, well that was fantastic. That was let me get this right. That was Stars Fell From My Eyes from Meg Hunter. So we need to be looking out for that. Meg will be releasing an album soon, I guess.
Next year, yeah.
Next year, so we'll look out for that. And thank you very much, Julian, for coming in. Thanks for the live intimate performance. That was awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks, Simone, for coming in. I look forward to working closely with Kapai Kātatin. We'll look out for Waitangi Day next year and St Mark's on the 12th. Sounds like awesome. So yeah, last little plug. I've just got enough time. So the Rotary quiz night at Gladstone Complex, 11th of October. Tables are 10. There are still tables available. $10 a head. Call Alan on 022 101 5945 to book your table. Hope to see you there. So this was Rob Stockley from Rotary Matters coming to you on Arrow FM on 92.7 FM. Thank you very much for listening.